Whoa, this thing is big. It's bigger than what I thought. Look at that.
Whole lot of talking, nigga do a whole lot of hating. Whole lot of money, probably can't fit in that safe. Whole lot of ammunition, ain't even gotta have aim.
This MPC 2500 to this, the MPC X, showing you guys how to produce on this and how to export on this and how to throw this back into one of my favorite production programs, Logic Pro X. So the first thing I like to do is I like to go into my programs, and I already have pre-made drum kits inside of my program. So I have one that I named the other day. It's called Trap Burner Kit, and I'm going to put that in there, and I have sounds that I already assigned to these pads. And let me turn this master down a minute because it might get pretty loud. So when I hit these pads, these are just two banks that I made. The banks up here, and I can select the banks, or you can select them actually on the screen here as well. So you can see those A and B. So as you can see, I got my drum kit loaded up. So now it's time to make a track. So first thing I'm going to do is, there's two ways you can do it. You can actually do it on the MP, or you actually do it in here, which I tend to do it in here. I'm going to select a plugin. So I'm going to click plugin right here. And what it's going to do is it's going to ask you what plugin. It's going to automatically come up with the hybrid plugin, and I'm going to select a plugin that I think I might want to use. So let me go into here. Let me do something that's going to have some quick sounds that I can go to. And let's try. So tone 2. Let's go ahead. Right here, this is telling me that the swing is on 50. This right here is telling me my quantize mode right now, which is on 16. And right here, I'm going to pull this up to my tempo to about 137. So yeah, let me do about 137. You can actually tap this in, but on the computer. So I can either tap it in on here, or I can do it on the computer. So, and I'm going to make this 8 bars. So I'm going to go up here, right to here, and I'm going to make this 8 bars. Hopefully you guys can see it, but it's right on here on the screen right here, and I'm going to turn this to 8 bars. Okay, I like this sound right here, so I'm going to go ahead and use this sound right here. And right now, what I did was I actually went on the screen and I stretched this out for 8 bars. Since we're doing this in double time, I have it for 8 bars, and it's right here on the screen. You can tap on the screen as I did, and you can subtract the bars like that, or you can add the bars like that, and I can, or do 16 or whatever. But I'm just going to do 8 bars, and press do it. And right now my tempo, my BPM is 138, which I can go in here and change that. But I think I like how everything sounds, so let's go ahead and make the beat. You're not going to hear me talk much. You're just going to see my fingers moving, and you're going to see me making the beat on here. All right, let's get started. Let's go. Okay, that's pretty much the whole beat right there. It's done. Now we have to do is we have to bounce the beat out, and then we have to pattern the whole beat out and put in the sequence. And that's going to come when I export it out to my other DAW, which is Logic. You can do it inside of the MPC 2.0 software, but I'm just more familiar with Logic and Pro Tools, but I use Logic for all of my production stuff. So I'm going to show you guys how to bounce these tracks out individually, and I'm going to show you guys how to import a Logic and make the beat. All right, so on to the next program. As you can see right now, I'm in mute mode, so I can actually go in here and mute tracks. And as you can see, I can mute the tracks because all of these are highlighted in yellow. So when I mute a track, it's going to turn red, as you can see right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do like a manual sequence so you can see how the beat is kind of going to go. And then once we export everything out of here and we put it into Logic, we can sequence the beat exactly the way we want it. So let's hear how it would sound, kind of. Okay, so now that we have the track done and you've seen how the mutes went and we kind of figured out how we want to do the track, we have to export the track. And so let me save this first. So let me go to File, Save Project. We're going to call it Bolo YouTuber. And we're going to save the project. And then what we're going to do now is we'll go back in this mode, and then we're going to go to export. So we're going to export as audio mixdown. What we're going to do is we're going to keep everything right here. We're going to make sure that we have an audio tail. What this does is, say for instance, you have a sound that has reverb on it, and maybe if the beat stops, it's maybe a couple seconds where the reverb has to go through. We add an audio tail. So I usually try to add at least 3 seconds on mine, which is kind of long, but you know, I just want to make sure I catch the whole tail. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to explode tracks. Explode tracks. We're not separating programs because I didn't make another program, which basically is something that a lot of MPC users know. If you want to make a sequence, you got to make different programs or whatever, but we don't need to do all that. We're going to do a wave format, 16-bit, 441, or you know, you can do 24 or 48, whatever you want to do, but I try to keep it around here. And what we do is going to export it. We're going to save it on to our desktop. I'm going to make a new folder just so I can keep everything together. Some of you guys like to just bounce it straight to the desktop. I like to keep everything together. I'm going to call this YouTuber folder, and I like to leave the tempo in there, 137, and I'm just going to just name it because the name sometimes is so long. Just call it YB or YT. There we go. So that when the tracks bounce out, it'll say YT dash whatever else it says. So we're going to save that. And now it's bouncing all of the tracks individually. Okay, so now we can quit the MPC program. And as you can see on the desktop, it says YouTuber, and it has all the tracks separated. Now, to add the tracks inside of Logic, what we're going to do is we're going to open up Logic Pro. Okay, now that we have Logic Pro open, we're going to select Audio. We're going to create. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go to our Finder, go to Desktop, YouTuber. We're going to take all of these tracks and we're going to swing these tracks into Logic. At the first bar, we want to create them on New Tracks. Press OK. And as you can see, one of these tracks don't have any information on there. I don't know what's wrong with that. It might be a little glitch, but whatever, it still works. So I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to delete the little glitch track right here. We're going to turn the tempo to 137. And what we're going to do is we're going to sequence the beat. And I'm going to make a few of these so I can just have a few I can just take out. And then sometimes I name these, but you can kind of look at the tracks and see what it is. Okay, so now that we have the beat inside of here, we want to make sure that the beat is not too loud. So I'm going to highlight all of these, pull these down, and we're going to play the beat. And so to spare your ears, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put an L2 on here. So now we're just going to get levels together. Alright, so the levels sound pretty cool. Now we're going to sequence the beat. So we're going to exit out of the mixer, and then we're going to either mute, which I have my mute set to M. I go in and I change the quick keys. So I'm just going to mute a few of these parts. And pretty much we have a track. Let's play it back.